had to go and almost implode in a way.
It's been the mystery of my life. I'm still following it.
What year was it? 72?
I know the folklore, obviously.
Can't go home. You can't go home, and I think this music reflects that.
The billboard's fantastic. It's up there, it's going to be out, and then you're on the road playing it, and it's exciting.
Anybody, they were all boo-hooing it and saying it was a load of crap and it wasn't like the Stones, you know.
K-Rock, Los Angeles, or Rock Revolution, and it's happening at the Rolling Stones. Get down!
The Rolling Stones were on a roll. Between 1968 and 1972, they put out 4 albums that many fans say are their greatest, and some even say they're among the best rock albums ever made. Their last album in this amazing streak was a double album called Exile on Main Street. It was a wild ride to close out this epic period, just like you'd expect from the Stones.
The thing about Exile on Main Street is that there wasn't a sort of master plan. We just accumulated material knowing that we would use it one day. Move your head!
Most folks know the story behind the album's name. The band had to leave England for a while.
They were running away from England. Why did they, so they literally got booted out?
Because of high taxes.
English tax exiles. This will be a popular English rock and roll story.
There was a feeling that you're being edged out of your own country. And the British government was scared by the number of fans that we had, I suppose. You know, they couldn't ignore that we were forced to be reckoned with. And sometime in the end of the year, we had to make the decision. It was like, well, we all wanted to keep going, right? So let's just move. I mean, we're not sort of rooted in England. We've been around the world half the time. Anyway,
We were supposed to live this life, you know, limousines you had to have, and you had to have this, that, and the other. And the money just flew, you know, so you were always in debt. None of us had paid tax. We thought we had. We thought that had been dealt with. And it hadn't. Tax under the Labour government, Wilson, was 93%. If you earned £1 million, which we didn't, you'd end up with 70 grand. So it was impossible to earn enough money to pay back the inland revenue and stay here in England.
In those days, if a band was big in England and then left England, that was the end of them. You didn't like them anymore. It's fucking curtains, you know. And then when you leave for tax reasons, it's really not very cool. I had to get out of the country to pay the tax incurred for me. That's why I had to leave. Let that be a warning to you.
Well, I ended up there because that's where everybody else went. My boys I play rock and roll with left the country. We were invited to go, and we went.
I joined the Stones May or June of '69, and so I hadn't earned enough money or done enough work on that level to have any kind of tax problems. But one of my most vivid memories is being flown there in our own private jet. I thought, my God, this is this is the high life. This is wonderful.
So they rented a place in France to make their music.
We tried various cinemas and public halls that one might rent, and we just never found a suitable site. And in the end, we chose convenience, I suppose, over sound, and went for the basement of Keith's house.
we said, well, we have this truck, our own mobile studios. Why don't we just forget about them and just bring in the truck and work around the problems? You know, at least this way we don't have to sort of ask for an interpreter every time we want to turn it off or on, you know. Basically, I think that the Stones really felt like exiles. We said, well, we're all going to do this, boys. We're all just going to move out and be a family and do it, and here's the place. And in a way, it was energizing.
I just moved to France, and I used to have to drive like a 6.5, 7 hour drive from where I lived on these little roads. I couldn't do it every night, you know, play and go home. So I lived with Keith. I lived in a room upstairs, and Keith lived in huge bedroom up above that, and it was quite, I mean, it was pretty together, really, in a mad sort of way. We would work any time in 24 hours. So if it was 11 o'clock at night, it would go for another 12 hours, or if it was at 12 o'clock midday, it would go for 12 hours, you know, whatever time. That's why you had to live there.
But even though they were in Europe, the music on Exile on Main Street is a mix of blues, soul, country, and rock. A sound that's all over the map in the best way possible.
The Lucifer of rock, the Pied Piper, the rebellious young millions who in the 1960s made rock music the official language of their unfocused but unmistakable affection from tradition.
I think you can use the Stones as markers. They certainly captured the times. The hippie, peace, love, acid thing was long gone, and there were different times.
Middle America couldn't believe what was happening to their kids. They were listening to this music, buying their albums, album covers with pictures of the boys lying around in homes, making parents sick, and people across the country thought, oh no, what can we expect next from the Stones?
There are textures on that no one ever laid down before.
That's so crazy this was in France, because it sounded, literally, I thought every night.
I love that record because it's sort of like something that could really confuse a journalist.
Wanted to be there while it was all happening. I would have been there. I'm sure of it.
This is who we were, and this is where we're going. We're not going back.
It's like, how good does it get?
Exile on Main Street is a rarity among double albums. It boasts 18 tracks, each a gem in its own right.
We always went to LA to finish our records. That was a sort of our modus operandi. So yeah, we went off to LA.
It was kind of fun playing it to lots of musicians and friends in LA. Interesting to get their input, you know, because I mean, everything that went on in Nelcut, it was just like, it was a bubble, really.
We'd never made a double album before, so we didn't quite, I don't think we were a bit naive about it. It was just a bit too much work, considering that we'd had all these pressures, plus we were just a bit burned on it. I remember Keith even saying, I'm so burnt out on this record, but we still got loads and loads of unfinished songs. Some of them had fragmentary lyrics, and some of them had none at all. So we had a big mountain to climb.
Here's a closer look at each track, showcasing the brilliance of this legendary album.
Now we are.
Kickstarting the wild ride that is Exile on Main Street is the opening track, Rocks Off.
I hear you talking when I'm on the street.
This song isn't afraid to get dark and down to earth, setting the mood for the whole album. The lyrics deal with someone struggling with addiction and its effects. Even though the topic is heavy, the Stones turn it into a rocking anthem. The song is full of their signature energy, with layered vocals, a driving beat. It's a classic Stones track that shows why they're one of the greatest rock and roll bands ever. Up next, on Exile on Main Street, is a scorcher called Rip This Joint. This high-energy rockabilly song is pure Stones magic. Mick Jagger sings his heart out, racing through the lyrics like a runaway train. The song is a wild story about a visitor traveling across the southern U.S., dropping names of cities and hinting at some wild times along the way. There's even a shout-out to a famous groupie named Barbara Cope, who was known as the Butter Queen. Let's just say it's a nickname with a story, but that's one for you to explore on your own time. This is a fun, fast-paced song that will get you moving. Shake Your Hips is a cool tribute to a blues song by Slim Harpo from 1966. The Stones were big fans of blues music. And this is their way of showing their appreciation.
A lot of Exile was done how Keith works, which is play it 20 times, marinate, play another 20.
The song is a bit different from the first two tracks because it has a simpler sound.
You know, Keith's a very bohemian and eccentric, in the best terms, person. He really is.
With fewer instruments and effects, this change of pace keeps things interesting.
I never plan anything, and you know, which is probably the difference between Mick and myself.
As we move deeper into Exile on Main Street, which many consider the Stones' greatest album.
Mick needs to know what he's going to do tomorrow, and me, I'm just happy to wake up and see who's hanging around. Mick's rock, I'm roll.
Film 701, Sternberg, Bau Dietrich 195, Aufnahme 3.
Casino Boogie is a wild and wacky song on Exile on Main Street. Can't make sense of the lyrics and the meaning of Casino Boogie? That was sort of by design. The lyrics might seem a little strange, and that's because they were written in a unique way. Mick Jagger explained in an April 2010 interview that song was done in cut-ups. It's in the style of William Burroughs and so on. $1 Million Sad doesn't mean anything. We did it in LA in the studio. We just wrote phrases on bits of paper and cut them up, the Burroughs style. And then you throw them into a hat, pick them out, and assemble them into verses.
Casino Boogie would have been a song with no lyrics. So Keith and I just did this William Burroughs thing where we did all cut-ups. And I just wrote phrases and chucked them into a pile and picked them out.
We did it for one number, but it worked. We probably did it because we couldn't think of anything to write.
Yeah, anything goes here. We've got to get this done.
This lets the song have a cool, free-flowing feel. Even though it might not have a super deep meaning, it's still a fun listen. And hey, did you know the Stones have never played this song live? Maybe someday.
Rolling Stones, Crazy Nick, lay a couple of tickets on your friend Nick.
The highest debuting song of the week gets called Tumblin' Dice by the phenomenal rock group that Time magazine says some far-out things about. The fan allegiance is not to rock as music. It's to the Stones as a socio-sexual event.
It's weird, you know, where your lyric things come from. Tumbling dice, I mean, I sat down with the housekeeper and talked to her about gambling. She liked to play dice, and I really didn't know much about it, but I got it off her, and I managed to make the song out of that.
Tumbling Dice is one of the most popular songs on Exile on Main Street. It's a super cool track that uses gambling and love as metaphors for life's ups and downs. This song features some interesting switch-ups in the band. Mick Jagger handles rhythm guitar, and Keith Richards rocks the lead guitar like always. Charlie Watts keeps the beat steady with his awesome drumming. And what really takes the song to the next level are the incredible backing vocals by Clyde King, Vanetta Fields, and Shirley Matthews. They add a richness and energy that makes you want to sing along. The Rolling Stones love to mix things up. They're known for their rock and roll sound, but they've always had a bit of a soft spot for country music, and let's be honest, maybe a little something for fun on the side.
Stormy winter. Nick and I had always loved country music anyway. Yeah, you're playing the Midwest in 1964, 65. You ain't going to hear much else. It's the other side of rock and roll. Yeah, I mean, rock and roll basically, your blues put under a little bit of white hillbilly melody. It's the coming together. It's that lovely, which music's always about. It's like, one culture hitting another. Hillbilly's ideas of subject matter are like really interesting. And there's a lot of in all of that music, there's a lot of things that just keen into your heart. Come on down, Sweet Virginia.
Sweet Virginia is a perfect example. This song blends those two styles together with some cool harmonica playing by Mick Jagger and an awesome saxophone solo by the late Bobby Key.
One of the things about Exile, I think, was a lot of stuff that we'd picked up on the road and along the way sort of came out. I mean, you've drawn from whatever you've listened to since you were a child. I mean, probably some of the things I write or play are things that I listened to in 1947. Rock and roll in its basic sense is a mixture. I mean, what I've always loved about it when I thought about it is it's a beautiful synthesis of white music and black music, and it's just a beautiful cauldron to mix things up. Come on down, I'll take you.
It's a relaxed, bluesy tune that will leave you wanting more.
Do it one time and then come on, that's what I'm talking. Come on down.
And hey, this is just the first taste of the different sounds you'll find on Exile on Main Street. Torn and Frayed is a cool, laid-back song on Exile on Main Street. It tells the story of a guitarist who's constantly on the road, traveling from one town to the next.
The Stones during that time were quite spread out across the south of France, so it was a little difficult to get everyone together for long periods of the time. They'd get together for a few days, and then everybody would naturally want to go home and see their families.
The lyrics could easily apply to any band member who's been touring for a long time, missing home and feeling a bit worn out.
There was the fact that Bianca was in her late stages of pregnancy during that period, so Mick was constantly in Paris where Bianca was. So it wasn't the best conditions at all. And I remember we just couldn't seem to get started.
The song has a country feel to it, which makes sense because the Stones were hanging out with a famous country musician named Graham Parsons while they were recording this album. It's a chill tune that will take you on a journey with this traveling musician. The Rolling Stones are usually known for their rock and roll anthems.
Got a sweet like an angel, got a green on girl.
Is a different side of the band.
Got a sweet like an angel, up on the mountain.
It's a tribute song for Angela Davis, a civil rights activist who was facing serious charges at the time.
Well, she ain't no singer, she ain't no star.
The good news is, she was later found innocent. This song shows the Stones' softer side and their support for important causes.
The same again, leave it a whole other one before you come. No, Charlie don't come in till later.
You had just the
Fail later on the sea.
And Bill come in with him.
Yeah,
And don't forget when the
and
late
MT, where does Mick Taylor go?
Well, where he feels it, not to it.
When you feel it, Mick.
I'll give you a yell. I was saying like middle eight.
The Rolling Stones may be known as rock and roll rebels, but even rockers can be total romantics.
What would really happen is this. They would play very poorly for 2 or 3 days on whatever song. And then if Keith got up and started looking at Charlie, then you knew that something was about to go down. And then Bill would get up and put his bass at that sort of 84-degree angle, and you went, here it comes. They're going to go for it now. Ha, ha, ha. Then it would turn into this wonderful, God-given music.
Okay, here it comes. Run up to the D and in. All right. Got your lead sheet?
All right.
I'm the man on the mountain.
Loving Cup is a sweet and soulful love song. The lyrics are full of cute metaphors. And let's be honest, who wouldn't want someone to tell them they'd love to spill the beans with you till dawn? This song wouldn't be the same without the beautiful piano playing by Nicky Hopkins. He really adds a special touch. That makes the whole song feel warm and loving. Sometimes good things come in unexpected packages.
Sometimes I would wake up and I would just hear this weird rumbling from the basement, and then realize that I'd slept for nearly a whole day and they was working on, you know. But sometimes if Jimmy Miller was there and enough people to operate the machinery, I'd say, okay, let's start. But there's nobody here. I said, I'll do for now.
Happy is a fun song sung by Keith Richards, the Rolling Stones guitar legend.
Because like, whoever's around, you know, and you had an idea, okay, round them up and let's go. You know. I cut Happy with Jimmy Miller's on drums and Bobby Keys on baritone sax and me on guitar, and that was basically the take.
Believe it or not, it all happened because Keith showed up early for a recording session. Lucky for us he did, because Happy became a huge hit for the Stones and a staple of their live shows. They've played it over 500 times.
Didn't wanna get me no trade.
In this song, Keith shows off his talents on not just vocals and guitar, but also bass. He's a true triple threat. Get ready to tap your feet to Turd on the Run. This fast-paced blues song is all about a breakup, but with a Rolling Stones twist. Mick Jagger really shines on the harmonica in this song. He doesn't always get to show off his harmonica skills, but here he lets loose and it sounds fantastic.
I don't think they've ever sort of said, let's make this kind of album or that kind of thing. They take on their own character once you start to get into it. Since we sort of left the country and we're recording in a totally different way,
I just wanted to reduce it back to basics.
The Rolling Stones are all about collaboration.
I'm trying to make the songs up. There's a riff, there's a groove, and you're trying to make up the words, you're trying to make up a melody. And so the writing process was very, very loose.
We started off just jamming. Really casual, untogether. It always ended up great, That was the great thing about it.
It was about as unrehearsed as a hiccup, It just was, it wasn't exactly spontaneous combustion.
Place to call to Henley.
Give George Harrison my best wishes.
Yes.
Not to mention his old lady.
This was a whole different approach to music and recording from what I'd been used to, Usually you know the name of the song you're playing.
And then there should be a chord progression.
The one that's great on that is Ventilator Blues. We always rehearse it, and it's a great riff, but we never do it as good as that. Something is not right, and either Keith will play a bit different, which is not the same, or I'll get it wrong. And that's because Bobby said, why don't you do this? And I said, I can't play that. He said, yeah, it's this. I stood next to me clapping. I just followed his time.
Where I ever had the balls to try to tell Charlie Watts where 2 and 4 words is beyond me. I've often thought to myself, son, what were you smoking or what were you drinking? And God bless his heart and patience, he listened to me. There you go, you hear it right here. I taught Charlie Watts how to play the drums.
Ventilator Blues was actually written by guitarist Mick Taylor, one of the many talented musicians who's played with the band.
That whole period was incredibly creative for all of us.
It's one of just 2 songs he gets credit for during his time with the Stones.
Once we got into a studio and picked up our guitars, we were in our own world. Nothing else could really get in the way.
And speaking of talented musicians, can you imagine this song without the amazing piano playing by Nicky Hopkins? His contributions are what make the song truly special. This track is a great reminder of how the Stones' music comes alive, thanks to all the people who work together to create it. Exile on Main Street is a wild ride of an album, with a relaxed, loose feeling that keeps you moving throughout all 18 tracks. I Just Want to See His Face is a perfect example of this vibe. The song has a cool, almost hypnotic groove that makes you want to sway along.
Woman on.
Exile on Main Street is full of surprises. Let It Loose is another track the Stones haven't played live. But it's a unique blend of blues and gospel with a relaxed, almost jam-like feel. Mick Jagger himself said it was a bit of a mystery, even to him. He mentioned he wrote some lyrics that got lost. And even Keith Richards, who wrote the music, said it was a weird song. Hey, even great bands can create something unexpected sometimes. And that's what makes this song interesting. It's a chance to hear a different side of the Stones. Imagine a song so good it could be a hit on its own, but instead it gets to be the bonus track on a stellar album. That's All Down the Line on Exile on Main Street. Some say legal stuff might have kept it from being a single, but that doesn't matter because it rocks anyway. This song is a party waiting to happen, with fantastic trumpet and trombone parts. That will make you want to get up and dance. Exile on Main Street isn't all original songs.
You Saturday night women, now you're just he can see something that he's wonder what the hell he's looking at. When it's done with him and finished, it will look fantastic.
The Stones pay tribute to their bluesy influences with a cover of this classic by Robert Johnson. This track is a great reminder of where the Stones' music comes from.
Please stop breaking down.
I've always thought somewhere in the back of my mind that what we were doing wasn't just for now, you know. So you're sort of making the record even when you're asleep. Someone who's dreaming the damn thing, you know. There might have been some sort of feeling that, right, now, since we've decided to move out of England, well, we better make this bloody work, you know.
Please stop breaking down.
Mick Jagger blows the harmonica like nobody's business. And Mick Taylor's guitar work is incredible. It's like adding the perfect finishing touch to a delicious meal. Fans of blues and the Rolling Stones will both love this song.
So you stressed out and rude.
Shine a Light is a beautiful and heartfelt song on Exile on Main Street.
Come see, get a line on you.
It's a tribute to Brian Jones, a former member of the Rolling Stones who passed away young. Even though the song wasn't released until 1972, Mick Jagger actually began writing it back in 1968 when Brian was still in the band.
There's a big group of people and they're dependent on this creative engine. And, you know, if it starts to get out of whack and doesn't work efficiently, everyone's going to suffer in some way or another.
When you late night friend to leave you in the cold gray dawn.
The lyrics are touching and emotional, and they express feelings that many people can relate to. The loss of a loved one who struggled with addiction.
You think you're in control of this wonderful, enjoyable lifestyle, and there's a sort of moment where you are, but then what happens is that the lifestyle starts to choose you. That's the problem.
This song is a reminder of Brian's talent and a tribute to his memory.
Finally, it's not that thing you're stuck in a basement trying to work out what the is going on. Now we've finished this record. All you have to do is wrap it up in this gritty little package. The billboard's fantastic. It's up there, it's going to be out, and then you're on the road playing it, and it's exciting.
Exile on Main Street ends on a high note with Soul Survivor.
Mick doesn't like the finished thing. He won't like this when it's finished. He won't let you finish this. That's what he's like, you know. Mick doesn't like anything you did yesterday. Let's do tomorrow, which in one way is very good because it keeps going forward.
This fun and upbeat song clocks in at just under 4 minutes and uses sailing metaphors to tell the story of a rocky relationship that somehow endures. It's a great way to close out this wild and exciting album, leaving you with a positive feeling. When the waters is rough, the sailing is tough.
I mean, it's a different kind of record. It's a very sprawling, gutsy piece of work. Criticism of Exile, it didn't have a direction. But then that's also something very laudable about it, that it exhibits all these styles and even multiple styles in one song. Does it have tons of like hit singles in it? No, this isn't that kind of record.
I'll Get Drowned in Your Love.
Over the years, it's just acquired a kind of magical glow. Probably because of the way it was recorded, the rawness of it, the edginess of it.
You've Got a Cutthroat Crew.
I love the tracks, obviously, you know, but I don't think we had hardly any good reviews on that album by anybody. They were all boo-hooing it and saying it was a load of crap and it wasn't like the Stones, you know. And they all did amazing U-turns in the next few years, saying it was one of the greatest albums we ever done.
I'm Gonna Sink Under You.
I just wanted to make music and see how sounds are made. How do you transmit that feeling and it actually comes back out and touches people?
I Got the Bell Bottom Blues. It's going to be the death of me.
It's been the mystery of my life and I'm still following it.
K-Rock, Los Angeles, your rock revolution, and it's happening at the Rolling Stones. Get down!
Exile on Main Street dramatically altered the vocabulary of record making. There are textures on that no one ever laid down before.
That's so crazy this was in France, because it sounded, literally, I thought every night they were in like Memphis or something like that, and they were going out and eating barbecue and partying and getting with women and, you know.
I love that record because it's sort of like something that could really confuse a journalist, sort of make him rethink his whole career, because he can't box the Stones in anymore. And I mean, there's 15 directions going on at once.
I think that anybody who was cool wanted to be there while it was all happening. I would have been there. I'm sure of it.
This is almost as if you were there while they were in a room trying to pull together a song, you know? And this is almost saying, this is who we were and this is where we're going. We're not going back.
When it comes to rock and roll music, it's like, how good does it get?